So, in my last episode, I talked about having to fire my manager and how I worked through that whole mess. But today, I was thinking I could take it a step further. When things go wrong, I don't just move on. I'd really try to just analyze the hell out of it, and I pick apart and figure out what I did wrong, what I could have done better, how to make sure it doesn't happen again. So I figured, why not do that with you guys in real time? Let's break this down together and actually learn something from it. Expecting everything to go perfectly all the time and to always follow the plan and to sort of just set it and forget it is an absolute setup. And that is not how life works, especially in business. And if you want to maintain your sanity, you have to just accept that and come to terms with the fact that at any given time, everything could go to shit. And I can't say that I'm always ready for that, but I can say at this point that I'm rarely surprised when a plan goes off script. And so much so that I have sort of created an entire mental process about it. So the first step in this mental process, so the first thing I do when the shit hits the fan is I blame myself. Why would I do that? When it's just so easy to blame everyone else and everything else. And it's easy to say all the reasons that I had no control over this and why it's everyone else's fault. What's not easy is to question whether or not it's because of you. Did this happen because of me? What did I do? It's never just one person's fault. And thinking that way is never going to get you further. It's never going to help your situation. It's never going to improve on what you're doing. And you're never going to get past this point, and you're going to just keep repeating these patterns. I can't make it better if I don't acknowledge my flaws, and I can't fix what's broken and prepare better for next time. So when things do eventually fall apart, I have to ask myself some questions. How did I contribute to the situation? What do I need to learn? Or in what way do I need to grow? And how am I going to do this differently next time? If I'm not taking the time to sit back and analyze this and I just keep moving through in a total fucking panic, like I got to get someone else in here as soon as possible, I'm going to just repeat that same pattern because there's a really good chance that I'm not going to do anything differently. So let's just analyze my situation together. Let me be totally transparent with you guys. How did I contribute to the situation? So, when I hired my manager, the role was not defined. I had no idea what she was going to be doing. And this goes against everything that I say about hiring like an assistant. So, I'm really good at hiring an assistant. I know that job. I know what that is. It's like it's utter chaos and it's always different and it's a million things, but it's pretty fucking clear what it is, and there's never been any question about what's going on in that role. The manager, however, I didn't really know. The responsibilities and the tasks weren't 100% determined when I hired this person. I thought we could build it together. I thought that I could hire someone with no management experience and no real experience in a tattoo shop. I thought that I could hire them and I could train them into being this person that I wanted them to be. And then I didn't train it. I didn't train at all. I just assumed that they knew what I knew, which is stupid. Like I should have known better. I literally have no excuse for that. Like I do know better. And I just had so much faith in this person that this was like the magical unicorn of a person that was going to save everything. But I didn't have the system set up. I didn't have the role defined. I was kind of figuring things out as I went, and I let this person come in and come up with their own systems in a business that she knew nothing about, and she had never managed anything before. Um, none of this makes sense. Shocking that it didn't work out, right? Like when I really like look back at all this, fuck, what was I doing? What the fuck was I doing? So, on top of that, I didn't check her work. So, I checked in, but only for like the first 30, 60 days. Then I kind of just like left her on autopilot and I didn't physically look at things. I stayed super busy And I was too busy. I was too busy to really see things, and I didn't make the time to go check up on things. And I didn't know like which things to even check up on because like I said, we were building this role. So I had like a pretty good idea of things I wanted her to do, and I had a pretty good idea of what the daily routine should be and like what she should be responsible for, but it was all just kind of up in the air, and it's like, oh, we'll figure it out as we go. So dumb. I also wasn't giving feedback in crucial moments. So catching things early before they were a big problem, like catching little things, little habits here and there would have been much easier early on where I could be like, do it this way, don't do it that way. Like, it would have been just an entirely different conversation back then, but I wasn't catching them when it was most important to catch them. I didn't have specific metrics to measure on how well the job was being done to even give like positive or negative feedback. Like, I didn't take the time to figure out what those metrics should be, and it seemed way too complicated to try to nail down like I couldn't even give you an example right now because I still don't fucking know because I still have to figure out this role and what their responsibilities are going to be. But like I couldn't even nail it down to a couple things that would measure their success. And like, from that person's perspective, why the fuck would you want to work for in a place where you can't even tell if you're doing a good job? Like, I feel really shitty about all of this. And you know, it is what it is. Like, I'm trying to learn from it. Like, this is the only way to learn, right? Is like you gotta fuck things up and do it real ugly and real wrong and then figure it out. I wish someone came in and was just like, here's how you manage, here's how you train a manager for your tattoo shop. Like, there's no booklet on that. There's no fucking pamphlet. I didn't get any instructions. So I'm figuring this out as I go and doing as the best I can. Doing my fucking best, guys. It's a sticker I have for sale on Etsy, by the way. I was not able to properly convey feedback when it was given and like how serious things actually were. So like I can have an uncomfortable conversation. Like, it's hard to do, but I can do that. But I tend to lean into the it's no big deal, we'll figure it out kind of mentality instead of saying like, hey, this is not acceptable and it can't happen again kind of stance. And I know that I'm really weak in this area, and that's something that I really am lacking, and probably a big reason why I am where I am right now, because I need to be a little bit tougher, which might surprise some people because it's kind of I'm kind of like all or nothing in a lot of ways, where I'm like either real fucking mean or too nice. Like, I'm trying to like find that middle ground, but I think that is because they say it's like a pendulum. So when you first start out in business, you're like a people pleaser, and you're way over on this side, and you're trying to make everybody happy, and you get walked all over, and then you realize what's going on, you course correct, and then your pendulum swings all the way the other way, and then you're a total fucking dickhead, and you're you got to find that middle ground. So I think I'm just kind of swinging back and forth and like trying to find that balance. I just haven't quite found it yet. But I'm getting there. Next, I'm asking myself, what do I need to learn and how do I need to grow? And first of all, I need to figure out what it is I actually want from them and how they can help me before I even fucking hire. So that's something I just need to sit with myself and kind of figure out. And I need to learn where my weaknesses are, where I need help the most. I need to learn how to train better. I think I'm good at training people initially. I think that my follow through and my follow up is where I'm lacking. And I really need to make time in my schedule for that continued training. It's not that I'm incapable of it or I'm bad at it. It's just I'm not making the time for it. I'm not setting aside the time. So I need to learn how to fit that into my schedule and just fit that into my daily routines where I'm constantly, checking in and following up and making sure I give feedback in the right way at the right time. And I need to learn how to give feedback in a way that lets them know this is serious, this could cost you your job, but also that I'm there to support them if they need help. and I need to learn how to stay consistent with all of that. These are my areas of weakness, and not proud to say any of this. Um, just trying to be transparent. Like I think I believe that I am a good teacher. I believe that I'm good at training people. I just have to finish it, like follow through. My follow through is not there. So, working on that. Next, I'm asking, how am I going to do this differently next time? Well, basically, everything I just said, I'm going to do. So, besides all of the above, right now, I'm working on trust but verify. So, that means their skill, their knowledge, their experience. In the past, I've just kind of like trusted their word for it. Like, oh, they said they can do this. They said they can handle this. They got this, and never really like check back in again. Because, I just want to believe people when they say things. I don't know. So I'm going to trust what they're saying, that they can do the thing, that they have the skill, they have the knowledge, they have the experience. But I'm also going to kind of test it out and make sure and verify that that's true before just letting them, go on their own. I'm going to create a better training plan. So I have a really solid training plan, but like I said, the follow through, the follow up's not there. So I'm really building that into my schedule, and I'm coming up with more specific ways to train and more resources for training. So there's more things available to them where it's not really taking more time from me in the long run. So it's going to take me a lot of time now, but I'm investing the time now to create these resources and documented systems and how-tos and frequently asked questions, like all of those things that they're just going to inevitably come to me with questions on, where if I can just create it and be like, here, like search this document if you have a question about XYZ. If it's not there, then come to me. So putting the time in now, save myself time later. That's really important to me right now, because I don't want to keep answering the same questions over and over again, And like I said, dedicating time in my schedule for training, specifically in those first, 30, 60 days, setting that time aside to just be super intentional about teaching stuff, and then checking in and making sure that things are being communicated properly. Just setting aside a time for checking their work until I don't have to do it anymore. When it gets to the point where, like, if every single time I'm checking them, making sure they did stuff, they're doing it right, I'm not going to do it anymore. Like, if it's consistently done correctly and done, the way it's supposed to be, I don't have to check it anymore. They're done. They've learned that. Let's move on. I can check back in periodically, maybe just to make sure they haven't, no backsliding is happening, or they haven't been rushing through something. And I'm going to be creating timelines and checklists for myself so that I can see what their progress is and what the status of things is at all times. And I can easily see where are we at? What are they missing? What else do I need to teach them? Just kind of setting myself up with these systems for the most important parts of the job. And then just taking the time to organize things the way that I want them to be, so that I can set the standard and then train them to just maintain the standard, instead of being like, here's my entire life's work, can you organize this and then tell me what you did with it? Why am I doing that? I mean, I know why I did it in the first place is because I was fucking drowning. I waited way too long to hire a manager, and I just was so desperate for help that I was like, do anything. Anything is better than nothing, which is true. In the beginning, I just needed a body. I needed an able body to do things so that I could stop feeling like I was fucking drowning. So in the beginning, it didn't matter to me how things were done as long as they were getting done. It matters to me now. I've changed my mind on that. I'm allowed to change my mind. But now I want to set the standard. So I want to make sure everything is set up the way I want it, organized the way I want it. And then I'm going to show them how I want it done, how I'm organizing things, and they have to maintain it. So Like, here's the standard. I want it done like this or better. Like, if you have a better way of doing this, fine. But this is where we're at. This is our starting point. Don't just like throw something at them and be like, figure this out, make it work. And then be disappointed that they didn't do it the way I wanted to. Like, that's not realistic. That's on me. 100%. If I don't know the job myself, how can I train someone to be successful in it? And how can I even know if they are successful? How can I support them when things are failing? I can't. So it's really important that I learn all of these things before I attempt to train someone else on them. So I have to put the work in now so that I can save myself the time and the frustrations later. So this sounds, it even sounds to me like a huge undertaking. I'm a little overwhelmed by it, but we're going into like November, December. It's kind of slow. I have extra time off. So I'm willing to put in the work, like I said, to save myself time later. Um, it's gonna be a lot. It's gonna be a lot of work. I don't want to be in this position again. I don't want to look back and have to analyze why things went wrong and feel like it was all on me because that's literally what I feel like right now. That all of this could have been avoided. I could have done things so much better, and I'm going to. I'm going to do them better next time. So it sucks that I'm back here and I'm doing this again, but now I know it's broken. Now I know how I can fix it and where I need to put my focus so that things can go better the next round.